I request the dignitaries to be led to the dais. Guru Darshana Jhaveri ji, Dr. V. Shankar, I request Dr. Jayashree Rajagopalan to kindly come on to the stage. Dr. Jayashree, please. Guru Kalyanasundaram Pillai will be represented by Srimati Maithili Kalyanasundaram Pillai. And Guru Harikrishna ji. It is indeed an honor for us that we have Maithili Mami with us, blessing us for this momentous occasion. Asatoma Sadgamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amritangamaya. We commence our function today on an auspicious note with the lighting of the lamp by our dignitaries, accompanied by the invocatory prayer by Sri Harish Venkateshwara.
विघ्नेश्वरा गणनाथ गजानन पार्वती नंदन शुभानना विघ्नेश्वरा गणनाथ गजानन पार्वती नंदन शुभानना मंगलमूर्ति श्री गणराया मंगलमूर्ति श्री गणराया जय गणराया श्री गणराया जय गणराया श्री गणराया अष्टविनायक शुभानना हे सिद्धि विनायक शुभानना विघ्नेश्वरा गणनाथ गजानन पार्वती नंदन शुभानना.
Thank you to our guests for doing the honors and to Harish for that melodious rendition. Success is neither an activity nor a destination. It is a process and a journey. We are all gathered here to celebrate Shashti Samashti 2022, a tribute to Dr. Jayashree Rajagopalan's glorious 60 years on stage. All that we do has been possible with the blessings of the Almighty, our parents, our revered Guru, Dr. Padma Subramaniam Padma Bhushan awardee, whom I specifically welcome as she joins us virtually. On behalf of Nrityodaya Academy of Performing Arts, Mumbai, I take this opportunity to welcome our eminent guests for today, Guru Shri Kalyanasundaram Pillai, Sri Rajarajeswari Bharatakalan Natya Mandir, represented by Srimati Maithili Kalyanasundaram and Guru Shri Harikrishna. Guru Darshana Jhaveri ji, renowned Manipuri exponent. Dr. V. Shankar, President, Sri Shanmukhananda Sangeeta Sabha. My namaskarams to you for accepting to grace our event with your august presence. It is both an honor and privilege for us at Nrityodaya Mumbai to receive your blessings thus. I extend a warm welcome to all the distinguished gurus, teachers, invitees, parents, students, and rasikas for making your presence here, as also for those who are joining us virtually for the same. Whatever Dr. Jayashree has achieved here for the past 60 years and Nrityodaya through her is due to the blessings of the elders, best wishes and support of all of you. We see this as much a celebration of her achievements as that of all of us together making it happen. The event today will include a formal session with the dignitaries on stage offering their felicitations, followed by a dance performance of items showcasing the choreography of Dr. Padma and Dr. Jayashree, and we conclude with a documentary on Dr. Jayashree's journey so far in the field of art. We hope all of you enjoy our presentation today. We would like to felicitate our guests with a token of our love and respect, with a shawl, a memento, which is an idol of Sri Vithala and Rukmayi, and a flower bouquet. I request the honors to be done now. I request Shri K. Rajagopalan to please come up on the stage for the same.
Yeah, I'm the stage.
It is our honor to have the great doyen of the Rajarajeshwari Parampara, Srimati Maithili Kalyanasundaram Pillai. We need your blessings always, Mami. And we present you an idol of Sri Vithala and Sri Rukmayi. I request you to present a ponnade to Sri Harikrishna. I request Sri Rajagopalan to present a memento to Guru Darshana Jhaveri ji. Dr. Jayashree is indeed lucky to receive the blessings of such stalwarts. Dr. V. Shankar, a pillar of support for all educational and cultural activities in the city. He is here with us despite an extremely busy schedule. I think I must mention here that we had to make a slight change in our program. So we started with the formal function because Dr. Shankar has a very important meeting at around 8 o'clock today. I request Guru Shri Harikrishnan to speak on behalf of Guru Shri Kalyanasundaram Pillai.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, the dignitaries on the dais, and Guru Srimati Jayashree Rajagopalan. We, on behalf of Rajarajeshwari Bharatanaट्य Kala Mandir, a message from my father and Guru of recognizing your glorious 60 years of teaching, propagating Bharata Nrityam, making lives of so many more young individuals in Mumbai by your graceful dancing and choreography. Our best wishes to you. And there are many more speakers on the dais. I'll leave the stage to them. Thank you very much.
All our guests are extremely eminent, but we would like to just say a few words about Guru Darshana Jhaveri ji. I request Ms. Tanushri to please do it.
Good evening, everyone. Guru Padma Shri Darshana Jhaveri, a Manipuri dancer, scholar, teacher, is one of the 4 world-renowned Jhaveri sisters whose name has become synonymous with Manipuri dancing. She has dedicated her life to preserve, perpetuate and propagate the classism of Manipuri dance under the able guidance of Guru Shri Bipin Singh. A technically versatile and immaculate dancer, Darshana ji has specialized in both Tandava and Lasya elements of Manipuri dance. Her innate sensitivity of the highly developed, intricate and complex tal and rhythm patterns led her to competent mridang playing. The creative contribution of Jhaveri sisters and Guru Bipin Singh has been to bring the traditional and classical dances of Manipuri from the temples to the theatre without polluting its original form and spirit. Since 1958, she has performed extensively all over India and over 40 foreign countries. She has received many honors and awards, the most prestigious being the National SNA Award, the President's Padma Shri Award, Gujarat SNA Award, Kalidas Samman and more from Manipur for her contribution to their dance and music.
I request Guru Darshana ji to please offer her felicitations.
Respected Shri Shankaranji, Maithili Mami, Harikrishna, and of course our dear Jayashree ji. I really feel highly privileged to be part of this wonderful celebration of Shashti Samashti, the 60 years of dance career of Dr. Jayashree Rajagopalan ji, which is arranged by her artistic Rajagopalan family, children, grandchildren, and it's wonderful. I have always appreciated Jayashree ji for many years, how she, her multifaceted talents and personality, as of course, daughter, sister, wife, mother, looking after, of course, household duties, managing her children, various demands of children, grandchildren. I always hear whenever I talk to her. And all the children, they are also upcoming and established dancers and musicians. This wonderful family of Rajagopalanji. I must congratulate Mr. Rajagopalan for having such a wonderful family. And how she manages, I don't know, beautifully and very efficiently all the duties and the demands of children, grandchildren, along with her dance activities as a teacher, dancer, choreographer, lecturer, examiner, and whatnot, with traveling always. It's wonderful. I have always appreciated her, and it has been always a great pleasure to work with her, to discuss with her. Of course, she will also tell how we have, both of us have worked a little bit on tal system of Manipuri dance as well as the Tirupagal tal system. She's, of course, everybody knows, she is very talented, and she has imbibed the vast knowledge, the creativity, the work of her guru, Dr. Padma Subramaniam, who herself is a stalwart as a dancer, teacher, choreographer, scholar, research scholar, and she has been transmitting her creative work, the Bharatanatyam, to her disciples. During these 60 years, she has achieved a lot and has contributed a lot to the society. She is continuously giving her knowledge in different universities, going as a lecturer or examiner, teaching, performing, choreographing. I wish her, I congratulate her for her wonderful journey of 60 years, and I wish that for more and more years she'll be able to serve this her dance art and propagate the our rich cultural heritage, and of course a legacy of her guru, Dr. Padma Subramanian. I'm very much thankful to Aishwarya also for inviting me to be today, and for showing her love and respect. She has, of course, arranged this celebration to show her respect and gratitude to her mother and guru, Jayashree ji. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Guru Darshana ji, for those very inspiring words. Our prayer is always that we are worthy of such blessings. Passion is one great force that unleashes creativity. Because if you're passionate about something, then you're more willing to take risks. I think that is, in a sense, sums up the persona of Dr. V. Shankar. I should be frank here. His biodata was so large and so extensive that we had a tough time encapsulating it. So we'll just give a brief overview of that. I request Mrs. Tanushree to do it.
Dr. V. Shankar is the Managing Trustee of SBVN Trust, Trustee of the Bharati Tirtha Mahaswamigal Golden Jubilee Trust and Bharati Ekta Vikas Pratishthan. He is also the President of Balaji Bhakta Darshan Sabha in Mumbai. He is also the only non-official member of the National Implementation Committee constituted by the Government of India, Ministry of Culture, and headed by Union Minister Rajnath Singh Ji. to celebrate the centenary of Shri M.S. Subbulakshmi, Srimati M.S. Subbulakshmi. He is the President of the South Indian Education Society in Mumbai, President of Shri Shanmukananda Fine Arts and Sangeeta Sabha in Mumbai, and Trustee of the Sri Ram Foundation in Chennai. His academic qualifications range from an honours degree in science to a PhD with a multitude of degrees along the way. Among his long list of accolades, he has also been the former trustee of Sri Narsimha Sabha Balaji Mandir, Nerul, Navi Mumbai, and President, Bharatiya Music and Art Society, Mumbai, and Vice President of Sri Shankara Mutt in Mumbai.
I request Dr. V. Shankar to say a few words.
If you give the mic to Shankar, even Lord Nataraja would not know when it will go back to the organizers. Beat that aside. Mala Sudam Kumbha Vibodha Mudra Vidyavara Jata Karvaryatam Apara Karunya Sudamburashim Sri Sharadamba Pranatosmi Nityam. Seeking the benediction of Jagannmata Sharada Parameshwari, Vagdevi Saraswati, that repository of all that is culture, knowledge, tradition, wisdom, art, learning and fine art, I bow to her as I commence my address today. It gives me great pleasure to associate myself and the Sri Shanmukananda Fine Arts and Sangeeta Sabha with this pleasant function organized this evening in honor of one of the most celebrated dancers of the city, who has, over the last 6 decades, danced her way to glory in furthering this classical art of this great nation of ours. A teacher, a choreographer, a research scholar, a performing artist of high standing, all rolled and fused into one. She has imbibed all the attributes of her Guru, Dr. Padma Subramaniam. Like her Guru, she has taken this art far beyond the shores of this country into distant lands like Singapore, Mauritius, France, Greece, Italy. As a senior research fellow of the Sangeet Natak Academy, she has taken to teaching with passion and unremitting devotion. Countless number of students have passed out of the portals of Nrityodaya Mumbai. She has initiated and molded several young minds, not just as an add-on to their mainstream education, but ones who have blossomed in later years as professional dancers in their own right, and people who have perpetuated and are continuing to perpetuate this great virasat of our land in the place of their residence. This journey of celebrating the art and the artist continues. The greatness of Indian classical music nowhere else is recorded as effectively as the Shastras themselves. They say, Swara to Ishvara, Nartan to Paramatman. It is the sound that leads you to God. And it is Nartan, the dance that leads you to the highest consciousness, the absolute Brahman who resides in each one of us. People always say that the second concept seems to be too odd. Swara to Ishvara might be fine, but the second seems to be something which needs to be explained. I shall give you a beautiful story, a true story, which will tell you why dance is looked upon not just as an offering to the Lord, but as divinity itself. Swami Vivekananda was a great friend of the Raja of Mewar. The Raja had been inviting the Swamiji to come to Mewar for a long time. But Swamiji, doesn't get into meeting and going people easily. At last one day he accepted the invitation and he came to Mewar. Several celebrations were held in honor of the Swamiji, and that included in that evening, in the court of justice of the king of Mewar, they had organized a dance program by a Nartaki. The Swamiji was in his room and suddenly realized, should I go and attend the program of dance by a lady? He sank into silence, closed his eyes and went into deep meditation, refused to come out of his room, believing that it is not fair and proper for him to attend a dance by a lady, a Vaishya or a Devdasi or whatever be the stream under which they had come. As he sank into sublime feelings of the mind, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa came before him and said, Narendra, is this all that I have taught to you? I have taught to you n number of times on the oneness of creation, that each one of us are the children of the same God. How is it today that you make a difference, that somebody belongs to a lesser class of the creation of the God? It did not evoke any response in Vivekananda. And then he goes further and says, haven't we said that dance is the offering to the Lord? Did not work. Ramakrishna then gave a profound thought to him and said, what is this? Nartaki. So demeaning as you thought. Jumble the words up and down in Hindi or in English. See what comes out. What comes out is Kirtan. What more proof do you need that this is the song of God itself? If Bhagavad Gita is the song of God, dance is the highest form of the song of God. Soon he marshalled himself, came out of his slumbers, ignored the stupidity of his actions, presided over that evening function and blessed the dancer. That shows the greatness of the art itself. Indian classical music is divine. It is Veda Swarupa. The Rig Veda is Patantra Mula, the one which has to be recited or chanted. The Sama Veda is Gana Mula, one which has to be sung. The Yajur Veda is Abhinaya, which is all those gestures, marks and signs which are expressive and form part of dance. The Atharva Veda is an aggregate of all, of rasa and bhava, which comes out of patantra or gana or abhinaya. Indian classical music is considered from times immemorial as an offering of the kalakar at the lotus feet of the Lord. Once Akbar asked Tansen, why is it that your Guru Haridas Baba sings far, far better than you and far melodious than you? Pat came the reply, he sings in praise of the Lord, I sing for you. This is the greatness of the Indian classical music. Natya Shastra, which is the magnum opus, which is the framework under which all art forms of the country are defined, has been mistakenly believed to be a detailed exposition on only Natya. It is far, far beyond that. It is considered the fifth Veda given by Bharata Muni to posterity for the entire gamut of the classical form of arts that we have. It is an exposition on the theatre, its construction, its dimensions, of the theory of music, of wind, string, and all percussion instruments, and of abhinaya, finally leading to rasa and bhava. Natya Shastra is divided into 32 chapters and is in the form of question and answer. It is sage Bharata Muni who answers sage Atreya and several other sages as he expounds the philosophy, the thought and the dimensions of Indian classical music. Indian classical music, particularly dance, is best described Yato hasto tato drishtihi, yato drishti tataf bhavo, tataf manaha, tato bhavo, yatuf bhavo, tato rasaha. Where the hand goes, there goes the eyes. And where the eyes go, they reach the mind. Where the mind is involved, emotions are formed. And out of emotions come the aesthetic experience, which is dance itself. Kamban in Kambaramayanam says, Kaivadi Nayanam Challe, Kanvadi Manam Challe, echoing the same thought that the Shastras had given. There is a beautiful understanding of all forms of art, even in English. It says, sound when stretched is music, body when stretched is dance, mind when stretched is meditation, life when stretched is celebration. So where do you start? You start with music. Sangeetam is just not music. Sangeetam is all-encompassing, covers all forms of art that leads you to the celebration of life. Dance is the loftiest, most sublime, most beautiful of all art forms. It is not just a translation or an abstract of life. It is life itself. And that is why we say, Yat kavyena yuktam tat gitena prasadayet. This is not Shastra. Bhartamuni says, what cannot be expressed in words can only be sung. And then he goes further and says, Yat gitena yuktam nrityena prasadayet. Ultimately, all forms of expression that we can give is through this visual dance form. From times immemorial, Bharatanatyam has been referred to in ancient times as Sadar. Sadar Atam is how we speak about. But Natya in Natya Shastra is only Angika Vinayam. But what is presented on the stage today is far, far more than what Bharatamuni himself had imagined of this science of Natya. And that is why today it's not called as Natya, as all of you said before. It is Bharata Nrityam. I am extremely delighted to be with you all this evening when all of you have assembled, the Shishya Varga, the professional colleagues and friends like us who have come here to pay our encomiums, rich tributes, and pray for further success and glory of the Utsava Murti of today's evening, Dr. Jayashree Rajagopalan. Given her vibrancy, her youth, her energy and enthusiasm, it is extremely difficult to believe that she has completed 60 years of continuous service to this great art form. But the fact is, yes, she has completed 60 years, and that's why we are all with you today. On an occasion like this, generally, we would call it as Guru Vandanam. It is a prostration, it's an offering to the Guru by the Shishya Varga, along with other seniors who have been part of this journey. In a Guru Vandanam, the tradition always has been, people ask, what does the Guru expect from the Sishyas on an occasion like this, when they come to offer their prayers to the Guru for all that he or she has done to them in the progression of their own lives. Bhagavan Vedavyasa, who wrote Mahabharata, concluded Mahabharata with 4 epic verses. And those verses are called as Chatushloki. And if anyone who had seen Bal Gangadhar Tilak's commentary on Mahabharata, I think he condensed all that in that 4 verses. This is Mahabharata. And in the last verse, Vyasa says, Na jatuhu na kamat na bayat na lobat dharmat tejet jivitasyopi. This is the expectation of the world from others. This is the expectation of a guru from the disciples. This is the expectation of the teacher from the taught. This is the expectation of anyone to whom you feel obligated for anything that he or she has done to you. And what does it say? Na jatuhu na kamat. Not by work, not by birth, not even by greed. not under any circumstances, forsake the path of dharma or righteousness. That is all that a guru expects from you. Not your encomiums, not your presentations, not even monetization of the services that she has done in the form of rewards and mementos that you give. It is to believe that you will follow the path of righteousness at all times. On an occasion like this, what is it that the Shishyas will ask of the Guru? The general prayer is, if we are elder to her, we say, Ashirvachanam, Jivet Sharta Shatam, we say, may you live 100 years. And the younger ones will pray that she should live 100 years. But in an era which is dominated by substantial expansion of medical knowledge and access to Medicare, 100 years in the life of a person is a curse. If it is not lived with comfort and good health. I am not saying this. Several millennia before, the Atharva Veda had seen that 100 years Jivet Sharta Shatam is not adequate. And therefore, the Atharva Veda says, Pashyet Sharta Shatam, Pushyet Sharta Shatam, Roget Sharta Shatam, Jivet Sharta Shatam, Bhuyet Sharta Shatam, Bhayet Sharta Shatam, Bhuyamsi Sharta Shatam. What type of 100 years? May you live 100 years, free from all diseases, of a vision, not only of the eye but also of the mind, and freedom from fear, favor and want. May the Jagannathu Kamakoti Kamakshi shed her grace on her. May she give her this long life, not just an expansion of time, but as Atharva Veda has described. May the good goddess give her benediction and grace on all of us, so that we can draw a leaf from the life of nobility of all people, of all hues and shades, who are engaged in preserving this great virasat of this land, and make our life sublime. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for citing relevant episodes from our tradition that validate our performing arts as a step towards the divine. Jayashree being felicitated by Dr. Shankar. Thank you so much, sir, for that very affectionate gesture. On behalf of the students of Nrityodaya Academy of Performing Arts, Mumbai, Mrs. Lakshmi Venkatraman, who is offering a small tribute to Dr. Jayashree. Thank you so much, Mami. On behalf of the students of Nrityodaya Academy of Performing Arts, Mumbai, we would like to present a token. It is a painting of Dr. Jayashree done by Sri Kishore Gaokar or of Mulund. When it is opened, you will be surprised to know that it's a painting because it looks so lifelike.
This is Shastra and Sampradaya together. Thank you. Thank you so much.
I request Dr. Jayashree to briefly reply to the felicitations.
Om Satgurubhyo Namaha. Om Shri Sai Ram. After the way I've heard the speeches before me, it's a very difficult for me to speak anything because I'm really overwhelmed. And the kind of knowledge that Dr. Shankar put forth before all of us, I bow to his vidya. When he talked about Guru, my first foremost salutations go to my mother, Srimati Leela Gopalan, a very versatile artist who initiated me. She was the first guru in my life for everything and particularly dance. And she brought me under Guru Janakiraman Master from Tanjavur, and saw to it that in the steel town of Rourkela, I had my Arangetram at the age of just 8 plus in 1961. And I think she had a vision for that because apart from learning so many things from my guru, I always regarded her more as my guru. She brought me, through her father, I came under my revered guru, Dr. Padma Subramaniam, my very dear Paduka. When Dr. Shankar was saying, what is it that the guru expects or what the Shishya expects? I didn't know. I seemed to be standing like a bridge between the two sides. The first thing that I heard this morning was blessings from my guru, Paduka, who said, I'm so proud of what you have done. I think that is because I don't want to be known by any other name other than her disciple, her representative, taking forward what she has toiled, because I've seen what she has done, accepting bouquets and brickbats with some equanimity and training us to take it like that. Take life forward with only a vision that becomes our mission. And we've all been part of that. So what I achieved today is probably what my mother started and has been taken forward by my guru, Paduka. Even today, she's constantly guiding me. I'm extremely grateful to the Almighty for having given me, as Darshana was saying and Harikrishna was saying, the family that I have been blessed with. My children, yes, they are talented, but they also took very readily to the path that I was showing them and became part of my activity. In fact, I have learned a lot from them. My daughter has tuned my productions, and my son has been playing the mridangam, and Aishwarya has been helping me choreograph so many movements. It has just gone one after the other, and I think that's just God's grace that my children and grandchildren are here celebrating this event. I never realized, when you are involved in a particular art, you don't realize how many years have rolled by. And suddenly it all happened when my cousin was celebrating her 60th year of her marriage anniversary, and I very jokingly said, oh, it was soon after her wedding that I had my Arangetram. I didn't know I had kind of switched on something in my children's mind, and they've been working towards this. And today, this function has come by because of that. My Koti Namaskarams to Kalyanasundaram Guruji and Maithili Mami, and of course Vicky, the next generation, who all together represent that first artistic family that I came in contact when I came to Mumbai. And from Kupaya Tata, they've all been supporting for every event that I have undertaken. Even if Masterji is very busy, he'll come for a brief moment and go. This is a great blessing. This is also because of my Guru, because I came to know them through her. And Darshana Ben also I came to know only through Paduka, but they have been so good, all the Jhaveri sisters, and particularly Darshana Ben has been, with all her knowledge, she has been so readily giving it to her. I have done the research on Manipuri talas and the Marga talas of Tirupur, which was very difficult to understand. Both the Tirupur talas and Manipuri talas were difficult, but the topic was given to me because my Guru identified the similarity and she said, you are the one who has to do the research. I was quite apprehensive of doing this, but Darshana Ben took me along every step, guiding me how there were similarities in rhythm and in the aksharas and so many things. I owe a lot to her for not only teaching me these things, but being such a good friend. And of course, Dr. Shankar has been, very, very, very kind to me, I must say, because whenever I said I would like to celebrate something, he said, why not? Shanmukhananda Sabha and all of us are with you. So I feel, it was because of my elder sister-in-law, K. Kamala, that I came in contact with him, and ever since it's been a very, very friendly journey. We have been able to share so many events together, and I felt very comfortable asking him for such things. Thank you so much for being a support to all of us artists. How many events of Abhay we have conducted there. Thank you so much, Shankar, for being with us. And I must, of course, thank my family. All this happened because of my husband's support. Without that, my husband, K. Rajagopalan, also a theatre artist, realized that there were moments when I had to leave the family, go for rehearsals, spend hours together with such activity, and has risen to the occasion in many ways, including looking after the children. So I cannot take all the credit of bringing up the children. It was very much with his support. My sisters, my elder sister has looked after my children whenever I had to go on trips. And my younger sister, who's been comparing here, Rajshri, she was my first student in Bharatanatyam, and almost all the items I could choreograph with ease with her in front of me. So I think it's a very great journey that God has given me. I was born into a family of artists, and I could come into a family that has encouraged me, and the larger family of my Rasikas. My dear friends, all the dancers, dance teachers who have come here, I thank you so much for being with me today, supporting me, and I have all my Abhay members here who are always there. Abhay is the Association of Bharatanatyam Artists of India. It so happened that with the grace of my Guru, 1,000 dancers performed for the 1,000th year of Rajarajeshwaram, and about 70 members from Western India I could gather, and they've been a constant source of support for every activity that I have done. And of course, my students, their parents, and all the friends who have come here. In particular, I would like to thank Gayatri Sundareshan, who has supported me so much for my music. She and her daughter have been constantly singing for a lot of our programs. And now, along with my daughter, there are so many, my orchestra members, Ravi and Sriram. I think I know them from the time they were probably in college. And today we are going to be again together. I can only thank Almighty for all that He has given. Thank you so much for being with me here. There is a show, please wait and see that choreography. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Jayashree. We now have Srimati Sundari Venkat, one of our senior parents, to propose the official vote of thanks.
Distinguished, eminent distinguished people on the dais, respected gurus, distinguished members of various dance institutions of Mumbai, lovable parents, beautiful dancers, children, and my dear friends, a good evening for everybody. Vote of thanks is the toughest part, as we say, because I have to stand after prolific orators mesmerizing you with various words. Secondly, it's time for a next part of the program, so I may be a hindrance over here, but still, I take this an honor and I feel quite emotional as I become nostalgic. As I have a reason for this. My family, we had been an integral part of the journey of Dr. Jayashree since the day I have imbibed two of my daughters into her institution. This is because after every performance, it's customary and I taken it as my responsibility to ward off the evils, that is Drishti Sutrada. So that it is not only our personal wish, it's my other way of thanking God Almighty for everything having done well. Since then, I have usurped the act of thanksgiving as a part for this institution. I'm proud of it. And moreover, today I stand on behalf of Nrityodaya to thank, I deem it an honor to thank Darshana Jhaveri, the eminent dancer, for having graced this occasion with your gracious presence and showering wonderful blessings on Dr. Jayashree. And I thank Maithili Mami, who had been a pillar of support for this institution. And always with a smiling face, she had been gracing every performance. And Guru Harikrishna, we convey our thanks as you have beautifully conveyed the blessings of Guru Sri Kalyanasundaram. And Dr. Shankar, I found one word left out in the biodata, an art enthusiast. I may probably say, having come here and having lavishly blessed and appreciated each and every moment and action of Dr. Jayashree and this institution, we thank you, sir, for your kind presence amidst your crowded commitments of the day. I thank all the lovable parents for having come here, without which the program wouldn't be a success. Now, I would like to say few thanks. As one of the mothers of the senior-most students of this institution, I get into backstage, the orchestra, as said, Rajashree, she herself being a beautiful dancer and a poetess, is going to steer the stage today with her beautiful Natvangam. And the singers, most of them, I've seen them grow and shine right in front of my eyes. Ado, we fondly call him. Aditya, a beautiful mridangist and a whistlist, as you might all be aware of. And a singer today is going to steal the show with his brother-in-law, Harish, the most upcoming singer. The program orchestra never is complete without the percussionist or the string instrument. Both the drums are here to support us and flourish the function. I thank you all on behalf of the parents again. And coming to the next generation, the dancers, the junior most, Varshini, has learned to synchronize with her mother, Perima, and grandmother, which has become very natural for her, and she is there to entertain us this evening. And comes Aishwarya and Vaishnavi. I may be biased in giving my opinion because I have seen them right from the young age, without makeup and makeup in close-up. And I have wondered how beautiful they are in anything you mention. Aishwarya, her presence on the stage is clearly showing us, seeing the future institution and the art. And Vaishnavi, I had been mesmerized with her beautiful singing and many an occasion and many a tunes. I thank you all girls. I get the privilege and the right to call you girls for this wonderful evening. I thank all the associate members of the Mysore Association for providing us this beautiful stage and giving us all the helps, the press and the media for everything that you have done. I might end, but it'll be bad on my part if I do not mention one person, the person who had been known to us, taking every aspect, the success of the day, success of any show, the sutradhar of the entire multi-generational artistic inside of the family, has been steered and brought up and made to stand so beautifully by none other than Shri Rajagopal. Our acknowledgements and thanks to Raja Mama for everything. I thank once again for giving me a chance to show the voice of all the interested parents. Thank you, Dr. Jayashree. Thanks.
Thank you so much. I now request the students of Nrityodaya Mumbai to kindly lead our dignitaries to their seats in the audience. We will be commencing shortly a cultural program to stay back with us and encourage all of us. Thank you so much. In a unique show cutting across generations, we present to you Shashti Samashti 2022, a tribute to Dr. Jayashree Rajagopalan's 60 years on stage. We commence this evening's recital with a dedication to the most popular gods of Maharashtra, Sri Ganesha and Panduranga Vittala, whose blessings have made possible this momentous occasion. This will be performed on our request by Dr. Jayashree herself as a start to the presentation by the three generations.
Ekadantam Mahakayam Tapta Kanchana Sannibham Lambodaram Vishalaksham Vandeham Gananayakam Ambika Hridayanandam Matri Pariparitam Bhaktapriyam Madonmatam Vandeham Gananayakam सुंदरते ध्यान सुंदरते ध्यान उभे विठेवरी सुंदरते ध्यान उभे विठेवरी करकटवरी देऊनिया करकटवरी देऊनिया सुंदरते ध्यान उभे विठेवरी सुंदरते ध्यान तुलसी हार गला कासे पीतांबर तुलसी हार गला कासे पीतांबर आवडे निरंतर हेची ध्यान आवडे निरंतर हेची ध्यान हेची ध्यान सुंदरते ध्यान उभे विठेवरी सुंदरते ध्यान मकर कुंडले गणपती श्रवणी मकर कुंडले गणपती श्रवणी कंठी कौस्तुभ मणि विराजित कंठी कौस्तुभ मणि विराजित सुंदरते ध्यान उभे विठेवरी सुंदरते ध्यान उभे विठेवरी तुका म्हणे माझे हेची सर्व सुख तुका म्हणे माझे हेची सर्व सुख तुका म्हणे माझे तुका म्हणे माझे माझे तुका म्हणे माझे तुका म्हणे माझे माझे तुका म्हणे माझे तुका म्हणे माझे तुका म्हणे माझे तुका म्हणे माझे हेची सर्व सुख पाहिन श्रीमुख आवडीने पाहिन श्रीमुख आवडीने सुंदरते ध्यान उभे विठेवरी सुंदरते ध्यान उभे विठेवरी सुंदरते ध्यान ध्यान
Pushpanjali. Pushpanjali is a traditional opening item in a Bharatanatrya recital in which the artist offers obeisance to Bhumi Devi, Nataraja, and greets the audience. The shlokas selected for this number are culled from Maharaja Shahaji's Mrityunjay Chiranjeeva Nataka in praise of Shiva, describing the manifold aspects of his majestic personage. Pushpanjali in Ragam Bhauli and Talamadi will be performed by Srimati Aishwarya Harish.
ताधि किट तक तकुंदरी किट तक तरि किट ता तरि किट ता तरि किट ताधि तत् तत् ता ताधि ता तद्धि तकिट तक ताधि तत् तत् ता ताधि ता तद्धि तकिट तक ताधि तत् तत् ता ताधि ता तद्धि तकिट तक ताधि तद्धि तुम नम तद्धि तथा किट तक ताधि तत् तत् ता ताधि ता तद्धि तकिट तक ताधि तत् तत् ता ताधि ता तद्धि तकिट तक ताधि तत् तत् ता ताधि ता तद्धि तकिट तक ताधि तद्धि तुम नम तद्धि तथा किट तक ताधि 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 तद्धि तथा किट तक ओम नमः शिवाय गुरवे नमः सहृदया नमः तां ततकधिन ततकधिन तर्किटकिटतकधिन किटकिटतक तां ततकधिन दीं ततकधिन तां ततकधिन ततकधिन तर्किटकिटतकधिन किटकिटतक तां ततकधिन दीं ततकधिन तां ततकधिन ता तर्किटकिटतकधिन किटकिटतक तां ततकधिन दीं ततकधिन ता ततकधिन ता तर्किटकिटतकधिन किटकिटतक तां ततकधिन दीं ततकधिन ता धी तद्धीं तथा किटतक ताधि तद्धीं तथा किटतक ताधि तद्धीं तथा किटतक ताधि तद्धीं तथा किटतक ताधि तद्धि तद्धीं तथा किटतक ताधि तद्धीं तथा किटतक ताधि तद्धीं तथा किटतक तर्किट तत् धिमिकिट तत् तर्किट तत् धिमिकिट तत् तां ततकधिन तद्धीं तथा किटतक तर्किट तत् धिमिकिट तत् तर्किट तत् धिमिकिट तत् तां ततकधिन तद्धीं तथा ता तर्किट किटकिट धिमिकिट किटतक ता तद्धीं तथा तर्किट तकधिन तुम ता तर्किट किटकिट धिमिकिट किटतक ता तद्धीं तथा तर्किट तकधिन तुम ता तद्धीं तथा तद्धीं तक तकधिं तक तक तर्किट तक ता तद्धीं तथा तद्धीं तक तकधिं तक तक तर्किट तक तर्किट धिमिकिट ता तद्धीं तक तर्किट तक धिक तर्किट तक तर्किट ता तद्धीं तक तर्किट तक धिक तर्किट तक ता तद्धीं तक तर्किट तक धिक तर्किट तक ता तर्किट धी तर्किट तुम तर्किट तत्ता ता तर्किट धी तर्किट तुम तर्किट तत्ता ता धिमित धिमित किट तुम तर्किट नम तर्किट तद्धिमित धिमित किट तुम तर्किट नम तर्किट तद्धिमित तत्ता तद्धिनु तकधिनु तत् तत्कृतं तद्धिनु तकधीन तत् तत्कृतं तद्धिमित धिमित किट तुम तर्किट नम तर्किट तर्किटता 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 जय पार्वती रमण जय पन्नगाभरण जय सुरनुत चरण जय दीन धरणा जय पार्वती रमण जय पन्नगाभरण जय सुरनुत चरण जय दीन धरणा जय अखिलनुत चरण जय अनंगा हरण जय असुर संहरण जय दुर् असुर संहरण जय दुरित शमन जय पार्वती रमणा जय पन्नगाभरण तां धीं दिगुतक तक दिगुतक दिगुतक दिगु दिगुतक तक दिगुतक दिगुतक पड़ंग तक दिगुतक दरिकिट तक
तरिकिट तक दित तरिकिट तक दित तलांग तरिकिट तक तत तरिकिट तक दित तरिकिट तक दित तलांग तरिकिट तक तत दित तकन तक तत्तरि तज्झणु तद्धिमि तक्किट तक दित तकन तक तत्तरि तज्झणु तद्धिमि तक्किट तद्दित तकन तक तदिन तक दित तकन तक तदिन तत्तरि तज्झणु तद्धिमि तक्किट तत तत्तिता दित्ता तरिकिटुदुम कृतुदुम तत्तित्तै दित्तै तरिकिटुदुम कृतुदुम तत्तित्ता दित्ता तरिकिटुदुम कृतुदुम
तां धीं दिगुतक तक दिगुतक दिगुतक दिगु दिगुतक तक दिगुतक दिगुतक दिगु धड़ंग तक दिगुतक दरिकिट तक
Ganesh Vandana. This invocatory item, dedicated to Sri Ganesha, was tuned by Srimati Leela Gopalan, Dr. Jayashree's mother, and choreographed by her first guru, Sri T.S. Janakiraman, for her Arangetram in Ragam Vasanta and Aditalam. This will be performed by Kumari Varshini, representing the third generation in Jayashree's lineage.
सा मा द सा आ सा मा द सा द सा म द सा द सा म द सा म ग म द म द नि सा नि र म ग म द नि सा द सा म द सा द सा म द सा म ग म द म द नि सा नि र म ग म द नि सा द सा म द सा द सा म द सा म ग
tari nam tari kuku tari tam tadittam tari kita taka dim tadittam tari kita taka dimi taka jannu takun tari kita tom kridiga tom ta kridiga tom ta kridiga tom
sarva vigna haram devam sarva vigna vivachitam sarva siddhi pradadam vandeham gananatham sarva vigna haram devam sarva vigna vivachitam sarva siddhi pradadam vandeham gananatham mushika vahana mudagahasta chamadakana vilambita sutra mushika vahana mudagahasta chamadakana vilambita sutra vamana rupa maheshwara putra vamana rupa maheshwara putra vigna vinayaka pada namaste vigna vinayaka pada namaste vigna vinayaka pada
Jathiswaram. Jathiswaram is a combination of various jatis presented for a repeated pattern of swaras in a set rhythm. This Jathiswaram, composed by Srimati Leela Gopalan, is in Ragam Hemavati and Talam Rupakam and will be performed by Srimati Aishwarya. sa ni da ni sa ni da pa ma pa ga re ga ma pa da ni sa ni da ni sa ni da pa ma pa ga re ga ma pa da ni sa ni da ni sa ni da pa ma Jam tari taka tat tadin tat takun tari kedum taka jam tari taka tat tadin tat takun tari kedum jam tari taka tat tadin tat taka jam tari taka tat tadin tat jam tari taka jam tari taka tat jam tari taka jam tari tat tik tari kedum tat jam tari taka jam tari tat tik tari kedum tat jam tari taka jam tari tat tik tari kedum
sa ni da ni sa ni da pa ma pa ga re ga ma pa da ni sa ni da ni sa ni da pa ma pa ga re ga ma pa da ni
Ashaindadum. The poet says, when one sees the peacock dancing, one would know that the beautiful Krishna has arrived. The girls go ecstatic, describing his deer-like eyes, his lovely locks, his lotus feet, his peacock crown, and his majestic gait. Even the animals are so overawed by his appearance that they stop grazing. Listening to Krishna's flute, one experiences boundless joy. Mayuralalitam Atikranta Karana and Akshiptachari describe the movement of the peacock. This composition of Oothukada Venkata in Simhendramadhyamam Ragam and Aditalam, choreographed by Dr. Jayashree, will be performed by Srimati Vaishnavi Anand and Kumari Hiranmayi from Singapore.
நம்மழகன் வந்தான் என்று சொல்வது போல் தோன்றும் அசைந்தாடும் மயில் ஒன்று கண்டார். நம்மழகன் வந்தான் என்று சொல்வது போல் தோன்றும் அசைந்தாடும் மயில் ஒன்று கண்டார். நம்மழகன் வந்தான் என்று சொல்வது போல் தோன்றும் அசைந்தாடும் மயில் ஒன்று கண்டார். நம்மழகன் வந்தான் என்று சொல்வது போல் தோன்றும் அசைந்தாடும் மயில் ஒன்று கண்டார். நம்மழகன் வந்தான் என்று சொல்வது போல் தோன்றும் அசைந்தாடும் மயில் ஒன்று கண்டார். நம்மழகன் வந்தான் என்று சொல்வது போல் தோன்றும் அசைந்தாடும் மயில் ஒன்று கண்டார். நம்மழகன் வந்தான் என்று அருள் பொங்கும் முகத்துடையார் பதம் வைத்து மரபதம் தூக்கி நின்றாட மயிலிறகார் பதிவதனமாட மயக்கும் விழியாட மகர குழையாட மலரணிகளாட மலர் மகளும் பாட இது கனவோ நனவோ என மறை முனிவரும் மகிழ்ந்து கொண்டாட அசைந்தாடும் மயிலொழுந்த நம்மரகன் வந்தான் என்று சொல்வது போல் தோன்றும் அசைந்தாடும் மயில் பொழுந்து அசி போடும் மாவினங்கள் கண்டு அந்த அதிசயத்தை சிலை போலே நின்று அசி போடும் மாவினங்கள் கண்டு அந்த அதிசயத்தை சிலை போலே நின்று அசி போடும் மாவினங்கள் கண்டு அந்த அதிசயத்தை சிலை போலே நின்று நிஜமான சுகம் என்று ஒன்று நிஜமான சுகம் என்று ஒன்று நிஜமான சுகம் என்று ஒன்று இருந்தால் நீலுலகில் இதையன்றி வேறெதுவும் அன்று திசை பாடும் கோபாலன் வந்து நிஜமான சுகம் என்று பொழுது இருந்தால் நீலுலகில் இதையன்றி வேறெதுவும் அன்று திசை பாடும் கோபாலன் வந்து நின்று எழுந்தெழுந்து நடமாட எதிர் நின்ற ராதை பாட எழுந்தெழுந்து நடமாட எதிர் நின்ற ராதை பாட எங்காயிருக்க மதிரைவாயிருக்க அவரிடம் தங்குமன துடையார் அருள் பொங்கும் முகத்துடையார் ஒரு பதம் வைத்து மறுபதம் தூக்கி நின்றாட மயிலிறகார் பதிவதனமாட மயக்கும் விழியாட மகர குழையாட மலரணிகளார் மலர் மகளும் பாட இது கனவோ நனவோ என மறை முனிவரும் மகிழ்ந்து கொண்டாட அசைந்தாடும் மயிலொழுந்த நம்மரகன் வந்தான் என்று சொல்வது போல் தோன்றும் அசைந்தாடும் மயில் பொழுந்த
Varnam. Varnam is the colorful centerpiece of any Bharatanatyam recital with a perfect blend of Nritta and Abhinaya. Here Jayashree has culled the dohas and chaupai from the Tulsi Ramayana to fit into a Varnam format. It begins with a story behind Sita's birth, her growing up years as Raja Janaka's daughter, Rama's chance meeting with Sita and their subsequent wedding following the Swayamvara. We get to glean the reason behind the challenge of the Shiva Dhanush for the Swayamvara. Sita is playing a game of flower ball with her Sakhis when suddenly the ball slips from the hand and rolls under the Shiva Dhanush. With great ease, Sita moves the Shiva Dhanush and retrieves the ball. Seeing the surprised Raja Janaka announces that whichever prince is able to lift the Shiva Dhanush will marry his daughter Sita. All kings who have assembled, including the mighty Ravana, are unable to even move the Dhanush. It is ultimately the handsome Rama who not only lifts the bow but also breaks it into two. As Sita garlands Rama, there is rejoicing everywhere. The devas shower flowers from heaven, and the common people play instruments and dance. Tuned by Dr. Lakshmi Sriram, this is in Ragamalika and Aditalam. Varnam. tarikita taka tana na 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 te. Tadim tat tat tadi budak kita tarikita taka tam taka dina dim taka dina tum taka dina nam taka dina tadi kita taka takun tarikita taka tana na 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 tat tadim tat tadi kita taka takun tarikita taka tana na 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 tat tadim tat tadi budak kita tarikita taka tat tadingu taka tadingu tarikita tarikita ta tat tadingu dak kita tarikita taka tat tadingu taka tadingu tarikita tarikita ta 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 di tarikita taka tarikita taka tarikita taka ta ta di tarikita taka tarikita taka tarikita taka ta ta di tarikita taka tarikita taka tarikita taka
शोभा सुख पावा जन बिरंची निज निपुणाई दिखाई देखी सिय शोभा सुख पावा जन बिरंची निज निपुणाई दिखाई देखी सिय शोभा सिय शोभा सिय शोभा सिय शोभा देखी सिय शोभा सुख पावा जनु बिरंची निज निपुणाई दिखाई बिरंची निज निपुणाई दिखाई बिरंची निज निपुणाई दिखाई देखी सिय शोभा सुख पावा जनु बिरंची निज निपुणाई दिखाई देखी सिय शोभा सुख पावा जनु बिरंची निज निपुणाई दिखाई
Kratim, kratim, takke nakke tettarim, tinakke tettata, tinakke tettarim, tinakke tettata, tinakke tettarim. Kratim, kratim, takke nakke tettarim, tinakke tettata, tinakke tettarim, tinakke tettata, tinakke tettarim. Kratim, kratim, takke nakke tettarim, tinakke tettata, tinakke tettarim, tinakke tettatun tunta. Dim, kratim, kratim, takke nakke tettarim, tinakke tettata, tinakke tettarim, tinakke tettatun tunta. Dim, kratim, takke nakke tettatun tunnakke tettatun tunnakke tettata. Dim, kratim, takke nakke tettatun tunnakke tettatun tunnakke tettata. Dim,
kradim takinakke tettatin tinakke tettata tinakke tettatun tunta kidataka tun tunta kidataka tun tunta
dim, tinakke tettata, tinakke tettatun tunta, kidataka tun tunta, kidataka tun tunta.
dim tinakke tettata tinakke tettatun tunta kidataka tun tunta kidataka tun tunta देखी सिय शोभा सुख पावा जन बिरंची निज निपुणाई दिखाई तात जनक तनयाय सोई धनुष यज्ञ जिहि कारण होई तात जनक तनया सोई धनुष जय जही कारण होय तात जनक कन्हैया यह सोय धनुष जय जही कारण होय
तत्तीं तत्कुडुत किटतकिता ताह कुडुत किटतकिता दृढताह कुडुत किटतकिता कुडुत तत्कुडुत किटतकिता ताह कुडुत किटतकिता दृढताह कुडुत किटतकिता तत्तो तन्नं तत्तीं तत्तों तन्नं तत्तीं तत्तों तन्नं तत्कुडुत तीं तत्तों तन्नं तत्कुडुत तीं तत्तों तन्नं तत्किडतकिता तीं तत्तों तन्नं तत्किडतकिता तीं तत्तों तन्नं तत्किडतकिता
तात जनक तनया यह सोय धनुष जय जही कारण होय पूजन गौरी सखीले आए करत प्रकाश फिरई फुलवारी पूजन गौरी सखीले आए करत प्रकाश फिरई फुलवारी पूजन गौरी करत प्रकाश फिरही फुलवारी पूजन गौरी सखीले आए करत प्रकाश फिरही फुलवारी पूजन गौरी सखीले आए करत प्रकाश फिरही फुलवारी पूजन गौरी सखीले आए पूजन गौरी सखीले आए पूजन गौरी 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 सखीले आई पूजन गौरी पूजन गौरी सखीले आई पूजन गौरी ग म प म द प प प द म म प ग ग म प नि स नि द प म प ग ग म प नि स नि स प नि स ग स नि द प म ग ग म प स नि प स नि द प म ग रि द प द म ग रि स ग म प स नि म ग म प स नि स नि द प म प स कंकण किंकिणी नूपुर धुनि सुनि कहत लखन सन राम हृदयंगुनि देखन मिस मृग विहग तरु देखन मिस मृग विहग तरु देखन मिस मृग विहग तरु फिरगे बहोरे निरखी निरखी रघुवीर छवि बाड़ही प्रीति न तोरे निरखी निरखी रघुवीर छवि बाड़ही प्रीति न तोरे बाल तिलक श्रम बिंदु सुहार श्रवण सुभग भूषण छवि छाय बिकट भ्रुकुटी कछ मुंगरवारे नव सरोज लोचन रतनारे देखन मिस मृग विहगतरु फिरगे बहोरे बहोरे निरखी निरखी रघुवीर छवि बाड़ही प्रीति न तोरी बाल तिलक श्रम बिंदु सुहार श्रवण सुभग भूषण छवि छाय बिकट भ्रुकुटी कछ मुंगरवारे नव सरोज लोचन रतनारे कंकण किंकिणी नूपुर धुनि सुनि कहत लखन सन राम हृदयंगुनि कंकण किंकिणी नूपुर धुनि सुनि राजत राज समाज महो कौशल राज किशोर राजत राज समाज महो कौशल राज समाज महो कौशल राज किशोर राजत राज समाज महो कौशल राज किशोर राजत राज समाज महू कुशल राज किशोर साध मग गमद गमग सनी रस सनी सग सग मद मद स रस मद गम गम दस पसनि धप मद मप गमग समा मग गमदनि सनि धप मद भग मदनि राज तरार समाज महू कुशल राज किशोर रावण बाण छुआ नहीं जावा हरे सकल भूप करि धावा रावण बाण छुआ नहीं जावा हरे सकल भूप करि धावा रावण बाण रावण बाण छुआ नहीं छापा रावण बाण रावण बाण रावण बाण छुआ नहीं जावा 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 रावण बाण हरे सकल भूप करि धावा रावण बाण छुआ नहीं छापा हरे सकल भूप करि धावा गुरु ही प्रणाम गुरु ही प्रणाम मन ही मन के गुरु ही प्रणाम मन ही मन के अति लाघव उठाई धनुलीना अति लाघव उठाई धनुलीना गुरु प्रणाम मन ही मन के अति लाघव उठाई धनुलीना गुरु प्रणाम मन ही मन के अति लाघव उठाई धनुलीना राजत राज समाज महू कुशल राज किशोर रे गम पग मरे गरे स नि स द नि रे मग मनि द नि द मग मग मनि गरे रे गम पग मरे गरे स नि स द नि रे मग मनि द नि द मग मग मरे गरे स गम द नि स रि स नि द परे रि ग म ग रि ग रि स नि रि स नि स नि ध नि द मग मरे गरे स राजत राज समाज महू कुशल राज किशोर भूषण सकल सुदेह सुहाय अंग अंग रचित के बनाए भूषण सकल सुदेह सुहाय अंग अंग रचित के भूषण सकल सुदेह सुहाए अंग अंग रच सखी बनाए गावही छवि अवलोक सहेली गावही छवि अवलोक सहेली गावही छवि अवलोक सहेली गावही छवि अवलोक सहेली सिय जयमान राम उर्मेली सिय जयमान राम उर्मेली सिय जयमान राम उर्मेली भूषण सकल सुदेह सुहाए अंग अंग रचि सखी बनाए गावही छवि अवलोक सहेली सिय जयमान राम उर्मेली राजत राज समाज महो कुशल राज किशोर मदसानिध दसरि गसा मदसानिध दसरि गसानिध दसरि मग मद मग सरि गसनिध सरि गमद सरि सरि गमद सरि दस दसरि गसानिध ससनिध निध मद मग मग सनिध राजत राज समाज महो कुशल राज किशोर रही भुवन भरी जय जय वाणी मुदित कहि जगत नर नारी रही भुवन भरी जय जय वाणी रही भुवन भरी जय जय वाणी मुदित कहि जगत नर नारी मुदित कहि जगत नर नारी नाचहि गावहि विभुत मधुकी बार बार कुसुमांजलि छूटी रही भुवन भरी जय जय वाणी मुदित कहि जगत नर नारी नाचहि गावहि विभुत मधुकी बार बार कुसुमांजलि छूटी राजत राज समाज महो कुशल राज किशोर मीप मारे सनि सरि सनि सरि मरे मप मीप मरे मप मीप मरे सनि सरि सनि सरि मरे मप मीप मरे मप रे मपनी पनि पमरे मपनी मपनी सा नि सा नि प मपनी सा रे रे नि सा नि मारी सा नि सा रे नि सा पनि प मप मरे मरे सा नि सा राजत राज समाज महो कुशल राज किशोर झांझ मृदंग शंख शहनाई भेरी ढोल तुंदुबी सुहाए झांझ मृदंग शंख शहनाई भेरी ढोल झांझ मृदंग शंख शहनाई भेरी सुहाए जगत हर जुवतिन मंगल गाए मंगल गाए मंगल गाए जगत हर जुवतिन मंगल गाए मंगल गाए मंगल गाए जगत हर जुवतिन मंगल गाए मंगल गाए मंगल गाए सोहती सिय राम के जोड़ी छवि सिंगारु मन हुई कठोरी सोहती सिय राम के जोड़ी छवि सिंगारु मन हुई कठोरी राजत राज समाज महो कोसल राज किशोर जय जय राम सिया राम जय जय राम जय जय राम सिया राम जय जय राम जय जय राम सिया राम जय जय राम सिया राम
The concluding item of today's program is a ritualistic dance pertaining to the Ahamargam tradition performed in the Tiruchandagatan Kudi temple. Referred to as Bhairavam, the verses have been culled from the Shaiva text by Dr. Padma, tuned and choreographed by her. For the Pallavi and Anupallavi, she has used relevant Karanas for Vakyartha Abhinaya. The story of Shiritonda Nayanar is brought out in the Sanchari Bhava, describing the unwavering devotion of the saint to Shiva, who sets out to test him in the form of a Shaivite sannyasi. He demands as a meal Pillai curry, or the meat of a child. Unable to find one, the hapless devotee takes the agonizing decision of sacrificing his only child as a meal to the sannyasi. Testing him further, Shiva refuses to partake of the meal in a house with no children. Shiritondar breaks down, confessing to serving his own child. Shiva's test comes to an astonishing climax when he revives the child back to life. Set poignantly in Nadanama Kriya Ragam and Adi Talam, Anandame will be performed by the three generations.
आनंदमे पर्वत आनंदमे भवनी कुलवर वर आनंदमे आनंदमे पर्वत आनंदमे भवनी कुलवर वर आनंदमे आनंदमे पर्वत आनंदमे भवनी कुलवर वर आनंदमे पंकाटिल नडपद आनंदम आनंदम भवनी कुलवर वर आनंदमे शिंगाटान कुडियेल्लाम आनंदम आनंदम भवनी कुलवर वर आनंदमे शिरतुंडर मडम एल्लाम आनंदम आनंदम भवनी कुलवर वर आनंदमे आनंदमे वरवद आनंदमे भवनी பைரவம் மற்றும் உள்ள ஆனந்தம். பைரவம் பைரவம் பிள்ளை காட்டாலயம். பைரவம் பைரவம் சிதம்பரராடிய பைரவமே பிள்ளை காட்டானந்தம். பைரவம் பைரவம் சிதம்பரராடிய பைரவமே. झिंझकणक झकणक झिंझकणक झकणक झम झम झण. झिंझकणक झकणक झिंझकणक झकणक झम झम झण झकणक झकणक झम झम झकणक झकणक झिंझकणक झिंझकणक झम झम झम. आनंदमे வருவது ஆனந்தமே. பவனிக்குள் வருவது ஆனந்தமே. தொண்டதனை அமுது கேட்க சிறுவனை கதியாகவே அறுத்து சமைத்த பிள்ளையே மீள அழைத்தாராதி பைரவனா. சிறு தொண்டதனை அமுது கேட்க சிறுவன் கதியாகவே சிறு தொண்டதனை அமுது கேட்க சிறுவன் கதியாகவே சிறு தொண்டதனை அமுது கேட்க சிறுவனே 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 சிறு தொண்டதனை அமுது கேட்க சிறுவனை கரியாகவே சிறுவனே 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 அறுத்து சமைத்த பிள்ளையே அறுத்து சமைத்த பிள்ளையே அறுத்து சமைத்த பிள்ளையே அழைதாராதி பைரவனார் அழைதாராதி பைரவனார் அழைதாராதி பைரவனாய் அழைத்தாராதி பைரவனாய் அழைத்தாராதி பைரவனாய் அழைத்தாராதி பைரவனாய் அழைத்தாராதி பைரவனாய் சேது தொண்டர்தனை அமுது கேட்க சிறுவன் கதியாகவே அறுத்து சமைத்த பிள்ளையே நில அழைத்தாராதி பைரவனார் கஞ்சொலியும் தமருகமும் கைகபால சூளமும் கஞ்சொலியும் தமருகமும் கைகபால சூளமும் கொஞ்ச சதங்கசிலம் கிங்கிணி கிணியன சிறுதாழ்வுடனே கஞ்சொலியும் தமருகமும் கைகபால சூளமும் கொஞ்ச சதங்கசிலம் கிங்கிணி கிணியன சிறுதாழ்வுடனே ஜென் ஜென் ஜன ஜனவே ஜன ஜனவே சிறு தொண்டர் வாழ்மடம் தேடியே ஜென் ஜென் ஜன ஜனவே ஜன ஜனவே சிறு தொண்டர் வாழ்மடம் தேடியே வஞ்சகமின்றி பிறப்பை அறுத்திட வந்தாராதி பைரவனார் வஞ்சகமின்றி பிறப்பை அறுத்திட வந்தாராதி பைரவனார் ஜென் ஜகணக ஜகணக ஜென் ஜகணக ஜகண ஜம் ஜம் ஜன ஜென் ஜகணக ஜகணக ஜென் ஜகணக ஜகண ஜம் ஜம் ஜன ஜகணக ஜகணக ஜம் ஜம் ஜகணக ஜகண ஜென் ஜகணக ஜென் ஜகண ஜம் 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 ஆனந்தமே வருவது ஆனந்தமே பவனிக்குள் வருவது ஆனந்தமே 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 ஆனந்தமே
We will now have a documentary on the lives of times of Dr. Jayashree. We have the credits for today. Dr. Jayashree Rajagopalan, Srimati Aishwarya Harish, and Miss Varshini, the dancers. On the vocals, we had Mr. Aditya Rajagopalan and Mr. Harish. On the mridangam, we had Sri Ram Subbaraman. And on the violin, we had Sri Ravi Anantaraman. Myself, I am Rajshri Vasudevan. We will now have a documentary on the lives and times of Dr. Jayashree Rajagopalan. It is said, if you're persistent, you will get it. If you're consistent, you will keep it. Just when thought that the world was ending, it turned into a beautiful butterfly. We request all of you to please stay back for the documentary.
The tinkling of anklet bells, the sound of the cymbals, and the flow of lilting music welcomed me into the dance hall of Nrityodaya to meet its director, Srimati Jayashree Rajagopalan. A warm smile greeted me as I was treated to a feast of wonderful dance movements which they called Karanas. I could feel the ambience that reverberated with the richness of our culture, tradition and values. The ancient Guru Shishya Parampara was still being kept alive here. The inspiration and eagerness to know more about this wonderful, efficient lady was instantaneous. Ancestrally from Tamil Nadu, born in Kerala, schooled in Orissa and settled in Mumbai for the past 46 years, her personality carries the vibrant colors of each of these places. Jayashree was born on 15th September 1952 in Alleppey, Kerala, to Srimati Leela Gopalan, a versatile writer and musician, and Sri K.R. Gopalan, a metallurgical engineer with Steel Authority of India Limited. Her paternal grandfather, Sri K.S. Raghavachari, was also a well-established civil engineer employed with the Government of India. Her maternal grandfather, Sri K. Parthasarathi Iyengar, was a leading lawyer in Alleppey and also the legal advisor to Travancore Maharaja. But above all this, he was a great connoisseur of music and patron of musicians himself, being the direct disciple of the great Carnatic musician Sri Aryakudi Ramanuja Iyengar. From the age of 3, Jayashree spent her most impressionable and formative years with her maternal grandparents Srimati Vijayalakshmi and Sri K. Parthasarathi, fondly known as Papa Sami, in Alleppey.
Our maternal grandparents' home was always bustling with activity and people from dawn to early hours of the next day. This household would be up at 3 a.m. to the chanting of slokas and mantras. Nature at the doorstep, with the cows moving, the pigeons and the other birds on the mango and coconut trees chirping. Amidst this, guests known and unknown would be partaking of meals from breakfast to dinner, visiting musicians and artists, staying over for days as they attended to various programs in different parts of Kerala. Chamber music concerts every night with guest artists and the members of the family was a constant factor. Members of the family were disciples of great musicians like Aryakudi Ramanuja Iyengar, Palghat Mani and Palghat Raghu and T.N. Krishnan. This milieu was further enhanced with the discussions and discourses by religious and spiritual leaders. Literary discussions in Tamil, Malayalam and Sanskrit in English was the norm. You can well imagine a person like Jayashree growing up in this kind of atmosphere. No wonder she could have the foundation for her future interest and fulfill her dreams.
Coming from this lineage and growing up in the atmosphere charged with such multifaceted activities, Jayashree naturally imbibed the value and importance of our culture. Jayashree's mother, a talented artist herself, initiated her in music, dance and drawing at the age of 4. Being in Rourkela, Jayashree's early training in dance was under Guru T.S. Janakiraman, who would come from Jamshedpur to teach her. Her mother, an expert in Abhinaya, trained her in portraying stories and emotions through padams. A keen student and an earnest teacher resulted in Jayashree having her arangetram at the tender age of 8 before a packed audience, exalting the child artist.
I have always been very passionate about dance, right from childhood. I remember learning little padams from my mother when I was just about 4, and I would enjoy showing this to every visitor who came to our house. I was so excited when my Arangetram was fixed because I would get full 2 hours to dance all by myself. But when I did ascend the stage and the lights came on, I was too shy and apprehensive and lifted my eyes with heaving a sigh, and then I saw the smiling faces of my school teachers, my friends, and all the uncles and aunts that I knew. And I felt I have to put forth my best.
Jayashree also learnt Odissi from Guru Mahadev Raut from Bhuvaneshwar and had given several full-length concerts in Odissi. During her annual visits to her grandparents' house in Alleppey, she had the opportunity to learn Mohiniyattam and Kathakali from a guru trained in Kalamandalam. She would also learn Padams in Bharatanatyam style from her grandfather, who had learnt along with Bala Saraswati under Kandappa Natvanar. By the time Jayashree finished her schooling in Carmel Convent, Rourkela, she had already acquired such a wide exposure in her arts and honed her talents that pursuing fine arts in college became a natural choice. Her graduation in drawing and painting from the Stella Maris College, Chennai, resulted in her keen interest and excellence in the art of Rangoli as well.
Seeing my love and dedication for dance, my grandfather said, if you want to be a dancer of some standing, you have to go under my dear friend Subramaniam's daughter, Paddu. He took me to their house, and as we were seated, there emerged from the house an embodiment of energy who lovingly went towards my grandfather and embraced him. I stood up in awe as I realized I had found my ideal, a dancer, singer, research scholar, and above all, a down-to-earth, loving human being.
Padma had by the time started her research in the Natya Shastra and the sculptures. Jayashree's study in drawing and sculpture helped her with an added advantage to understand the profundity of her guru's research. Jayashree's systematic training in Bharatanatyam started under Padma, following the methodology that she was evolving through her study of the Natya Shastra.
First is Talapushpaputam. Next comes Vartitam. Then Valitorukam, Apavidham, and so on. I'm convinced that in many cases the 4 arms depict animation. See this. The secondary arms show the course of action.
Jayashree's batch was lucky as they were the direct recipients of their guru's research and allied experiments.
It was almost like having a rebirth as a dancer, having come under Paduka.
Her second Arangetram in the Bharatanatyam style under Padma Subramaniam was conducted on January 20th, 1973 at the Mylapore Fine Arts, Madras, in the eminent presence of Justice Gokula Krishnan and Padma's own guru in dance, Guru Sri Varuvu Ramaya Pillai. Srimati Kausalya, under whom Padma was initiated in dance, tied the gajja or ghungru for Jayashree. Srimati S.D. Subbalakshmi and Srimati K.D. Sundarambal were also present to bless the artist. Hereon, dance became a lifetime commitment that Jayashree gave to her guru.
තවෝවන විරහකාදරා සහියෙව්ව තුවේ උවට්ටිත වියෝවස්ස තවෝවන සවිදාව සමවත්තා දීසි උගලියා දබ්බකව
while, along with perseverance in art, she also excelled in academics. In 1972, she was awarded the Hindustan Steel Limited Scholarship and the National Merit Scholarship for Education. On her return to Rourkela, she started teaching dance at Kanakasabha, an institution founded by her mother, who taught music there. Through this institution, Jayashree put up several dance dramas and group programs, her mother not only composing music but also singing for her shows. Her sisters, both elder and younger, were also equally engaged in supporting Jayashree.
We were brought up in Rourkela in Orissa, where my mother had her institute, Kanak and we all learned Bharatanatyam and Carnatic music under her. Later on, I bifurcated and went on to learning Kathak, but I was so fortunate to be able to learn Carnatic music and do Natvangam for Jayashree's dance. We all also learned Odissi because we were in Orissa for almost 8 years and performed all over India. We had very lovely moments when we had to prepare the dance dramas and deciding about the costumes, the roles, music, and different props. I have spent a lot of time with Jayashree, very wonderful moments. And later on, when I picked up art as a specialty and moved to Bombay, there I continued to work with her on that domain. She was my art teacher at school. So I think it's looking back at times, there's so many fond memories of time spent with her, and I wish her all the best for the future.
Jayashree also taught in her alma mater, the Carmel School. Her college days in Chennai had brought her so close to the Nrityodaya family that her training was akin to a Gurukula Vasam system. She found a second home there with her closest companions in late Srimati Uma Sriram and her sister, late Srimati Sundari Santanam.
Sadgurubhyo Namaha. I'm so happy to be part of this beautiful celebration of 60 years of Vijika's dance career. If I should talk about Vijika, it's like talking about my own mother. She has been like a mother to me. And my earliest memory of Vijika, a very vague memory, is when I was 5 years old and I did Bala Meenakshi in Paduka's Meenakshi Kalyanam. Vijika was my mother. In the sense, Bala Meenakshi's mother was performed by Vijika, and my mother Uma Sriram performed as Bala Meenakshi's father. So that's a vague memory of being with Vijika on stage. And Vijika's relationship with my mother, Uma Sriram, goes back to maybe when they were in their 30s or so, I think so. For so many years, I know my mother and Vijika have been such close friends, I should say more like sisters. And how many lovely moments we've had as a family. They're all so fresh in my mind. And this friendship or this relationship started with my mother and Vijika, then came down to myself, my brothers and Vijika's children, and now my children and their children. So it's such a beautiful bonding that we have. When I think of Vijika, I think she's a very complete artist. In the sense, what Paduka would like her student to be. She's exactly like that, whether it is performing, dancing, or when it comes to academics, when it comes to teaching. Vijika is just about everything that Paduka would expect of her student. I've always been amazed by the zeal that she has for the art, for life. She's just ready to do anything for Paduka. That devotion she has towards Paduka it's unflinching. And of course her total surrender to Bhagavan Satya Sai Baba, that too I have seen. So much of positivity when she is around, and of course her brilliant sense of humor. If Vijika is around, we are all laughing. So these are some of the beautiful moments that come to my mind when I think of Vijika, and I'm so happy that I'm part of this celebration, at least virtually. And if my mother had been physically present today, she would have been so happy and she would have in fact flown to Bombay to be with her. So Vijika, I just pray that Bhagavan gives you great health and the same zeal for dancing, for teaching that I have seen in you, and may he bless you, and of course Paduka's blessings to keep dancing all your life. Namaste.
In 1976, she got married to Shri K. Rajagopalan, an accounts executive with IBM and later CEO, the Cottage Industries, Bombay. Through this arranged marriage, she came into a traditional Iyengar family of Kumbakonam that had settled in Mumbai and yet not lost any of its customs. Her father-in-law, Shri V. Krishnamachari, retired Commissioner of Income Tax, was very fond of Jayashree, and it was he who encouraged her to keep up her dance and painting.
Ever since Jayashree came into our family after marriage, she had assimilated seamlessly into the various responsibilities of a conservative family. My father, who is normally a very conservative to dance, you'll be surprised, became an ardent fan of Jayashree, and he used to be the first attendee in all her programs. Looking into her dedication to the field of dance and teaching, the least I could do is to give her encouragement in all her endeavors. On this momentous occasion, I wish her the best and to reach the pinnacle of her desires and ambitions in pursuing her career.
With the blessings of her Guru and her timely guidance that only when you teach, you grow with your art, Jayashree established her institution in Bombay in 1976. Dr. Padma very graciously named it as Nrityodaya Mumbai, calling it as a branch of her own Nrityodaya Chennai. By this, the Guru had already indicated her immense faith in her worthy Shishya, placing a huge responsibility on Jayashree's able shoulders. Jayashree also had tremendous support from Shri Soli Batliwala, Trustee, Bulabhai Memorial Institute, Bombay, and Srimati Hiraben Chotalal Joshi, a philanthropist and founder member of the Azad Mahila Sangh. Thus, Nrityodaya Mumbai became and continues to be the only institution in the city teaching Padma's style of classical dance, that is, the Bharatanatyam style. The institution prides itself of having celebrated the Silver Jubilee or Rajata Mahotsav by honoring senior gurus of Mumbai, and the Manikya Mahotsav, a completion of 40 years of the institution, by honoring stalwarts who have brought Shastra and Prayoga together. In November 1979, her first child was born in Rourkela. Early in life, baby Vaishnavi began showing signs of artistic genes in her. Jayashree, still pursuing her dance career along with a toddler, went to Singapore with her guru to train a group of local artists for the International Festival of Dance. In 1984, Jayashree performed at the Athens Festival in Greece. However, 1985, she claims, was a very special year for her in her dance career. It was the year in which the first Natyashastra Shiksha Shibir was conducted by Dr. Padma Subramaniam for her affiliated institutions, a major one being Nrityodaya Mumbai. A good group of Jayashree students participated in this. Their performance for the valedictory function received spontaneous and joyous praise from her guru for Jayashree's skillful choreography of the Bharatanatyam style.
A culturally oriented family realized the importance of arts as being multidimensional and multi-layered. It is no surprise then that Viji Didi, taking after my mother, was adept at both fine and performing arts. I literally grew up in her shadow. She was my teacher in school and my guru at home. Being her first student, I had the golden opportunity of her exquisite choreography being done on me, her thoughts and my actions moving in unison. It was an eclectic blend of nritta and abhinaya, which won the pride of place in most competitions, performance slots in different occasions, and I got to do stellar roles in all her productions in India and abroad under her and under our guru, Dr. Padma Subramaniam. It has been a great learning experience being with her, Atimber and the kids in Mumbai when I was studying and teaching. I wish that God gives her all the strength and the health to achieve many such milestones in the future. Thank you so much, Didi, for being a role model, for teaching us passion in performance and patience in teaching, and always being sensitive to others' needs. Shri Guru Bhyonama.
It was in this year that she also registered for her PhD and gave several dance programs, amongst which were 2 solo performances in the then Shanmukhananda Sabha to packed audiences receiving rave reviews in all the local papers in Mumbai. Her dedication to the art form was evident when she gave one of these full-length solo performances while she was carrying her twins. In May 1986, she delivered fraternal twins Aditya and Aishwarya.
Even when I had to take breaks from practical performance, I could dedicate my time to learning Sanskrit dramas under Guru Ramakrishna, which culminated in my choreographing and presenting Abhigyana Shakuntalam of Kalidasa with my students. In fact, it was the crying of my newborn baby Aishwarya, which I recorded to present on the stage the crying of the newborn Shakuntala that Kanva discovers.
Her focused study of Sanskrit works and keen interest in reviving Sanskrit theatre practices through dance brought her in contact with stalwarts like Dr. K.D. Tripathi, which culminated in the presentation of the original Abhigyana Shakuntalam in the prestigious Kalidas Samaroh in Ujjain. In 1987, she had the opportunity to join her guru to perform at the Indian Ocean Festival at Mauritius. Jayashree was keenly involved at every stage of her guru's work and was fortunate to travel extensively with her for national and international festivals. This gave her the opportunity to closely interact with several stalwarts, thereby constantly imbibing values and learning aspects of the art from them.
Namaskaram. I am very happy to know that Dr. Jayashree Rajagopalan is completing 60 years of service to the divine art form, Bharatanatyam. Being the senior most disciple of the legendary Padma Bhushan awardee Dr. Padma Subramaniam, founder, director of Nityodaya, Dr. Jayashree continued the legacy she inherited from her guru through her dedicated institution Nityodaya in Mumbai for the past 46 years. She has brought numerable innovative productions which are well received and recognized by the Rasikas. She belongs to an artistic family. Her son-in-law Anand, being my student, we are very close family friends. Vaishnavi, the talented daughter, and Anand, my disciple, based in Singapore, doing a great service to fine arts through their institution, Chetas. I wish Dr. Jayashree many more successful years in this field, enthralling one and all. Thank you.
Hereafter, culling material from ancient texts for presentation in Bharatanatyam style, reviving the Purvaranga of Natya Shastra, use of mixed genre instruments, multilingual presentations, and aesthetic blend of Hindustani and Carnatic music were all part of her creative process in every new production.
Sarvai Devaganesah Dvitiyam cha Haraf Parva Tritiyam cha Janardhana Chaturtham cha Kumaraste Panchamam Panna Gotamaha Nityam Sarve Pipantutva Surate cha Shivo Bhava.
Jayashree is the recipient of the Senior Research Fellowship of the Department of Culture, Government of India for her thesis on the Margatalas of Tiruppugar of Tamil Nadu and Manipuri dance. The study shows the similarity between the Chandatalas employed by Arunagirinathar in his Tiruppugar and the talas used by the Manipuri dancers and mridangists, tracing the origins to the Sankirtana Paddhati of Bengal and the Prabandha technique of music codified in the Sangeeta Ratnakara. This led her to work in close connection with the renowned Padma Shri Guru Darshana Jhaveri and Professor Ramanathan of Madras University. As a research product, some Tiruppugar rendered in Manipuri talas have been choreographed in the Bharatanatyam style and were showcased in the seminar on rhythm in Indian dance and music in Mumbai. Her PhD thesis on Aharya Abhinaya of Natya Shastra, a study, was an original work hitherto unexplored by any scholar. The research expounds in detail the makeup, jewelry, costume and stage props as delineated in the Natya Shastra and its relevance today, as well as the emotional aspect of Aharya Abhinaya. Dr. Jayashree was awarded the Indal Research Fellowship, Asiatic Society of Mumbai, for her dissertation on role and relevance of the Lasyangas of Natya Shastra, a gender perspective. She is also the recipient of the Tata Heras Fellowship for her postdoctoral project titled Impact of Natya Shastra in Ajanta Art. She has conceived and presented 22 episodes on various aspects of the Natya Shastra for the University Grants Commission, the UGC, as an educational project at the behest of Professor Dr. Radha Vallabh Tripathi, the then Dean of the Sanskrit Department at Sagar. Thereafter, she has constantly been associated with him for all his Natya Shastra lectures for various forums. She has also undertaken research and discussion with scholars and Sankirtankars on the philosophy and religion of Varkari saints of Maharashtra, who established the Nama Sankirtana tradition. This culminated in the production of the Nritya Natika Bhakta Sakha Vitthala. Entrenched in the firm understanding of the pan-Asian appeal of the Natya Shastra, Jayashree was very easily able to communicate and teach the art form to students from foreign cultures. She won foreign audiences and inspired many non-Indian students towards our art and heritage with her workshops, lecture demonstrations and performances in France, Italy and Singapore. As an artist who brilliantly connected her dance with aesthetics through fine art, authenticity through academic research, and conviction through sticking to tradition, she was aptly awarded with many a befitting titles and posts. She has been the Deputy Director of Anantacharya Indological Research Institute, Mumbai for 2 years, the Chief Examiner, PhD Guide and Visiting Professor at Center of Performing Arts, Pune University for the past 2 decades, the PhD Guide at the Sri Sri University for the past year, and a faculty member for the distance education course Bharatanatyam of the Shastra University, Tanjavur for more than 10 years. Among her many awards, she has received the prestigious Nritya Perunjoti from the Governor of Tamil Nadu and the Shanmukha Ratna from the Shanmukhananda Sangeeta Sabha, Mumbai. In 2010, when the 1000th year of the Brihadishwara temple in Tanjavur was being celebrated, Jayashree was instrumental in motivating about 70 artists from Western India to be part of the 1000 dancers who performed in Tanjavur. This gave her the status of the convener of the Abhay Mumbai Shakha, and for the past 10 years, she has been actively curating events with the support of all the members of the Shakha.
Namaskaram, Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. I am extremely happy to note that the Shashti Samashti celebrations of Dr. Jayashree Rajagopalan is being celebrated on the 20th of May 2022 in Mumbai. Dr. Jayashree Rajagopalan is such a consummate artist, a teacher, a choreographer and an arts administrator with so many years of service behind her. As the coordinator of the Abhay Mumbai Shakha for the past 12 years, Dr. Jayashree has achieved so many milestones for Abhay in Mumbai. She has brought together a number of artists of Mumbai and Pune and the northern area under the umbrella of Abhay and conducted many workshops and festivals on behalf of Abhay. We have also had the pleasure of honouring her with the Nritya Perunjoti title. I am extremely happy to note this, and on behalf of all of us at Abhay, I congratulate Jayashree Akka on this milestone achievement and wish her all the very best in the future and seek her blessings in all our endeavours. Thank you. Namaskaram.
Having run her institute in Mumbai for the last 46 years, Jayashree has become the best spokesperson of her Guru's research work and style.
Sadgurubhyo Namaha. I feel so proud that Dr. Jayashree Rajagopalan, my dear Viji, that's how we call her at home, has completed 60 years of her association with dance. As a child, she started dancing, and 60 years have galloped. Not simply dancing, but researching, getting academic degrees, teaching, and well, creating in her home a family of artists. What a wonderful life she has had. It's not as though she never had any troubles. She had her own problems, but she could swim across these cross currents, and thanks to her in-laws, particularly her husband, Rajagopalan, who has been so supportive. I congratulate him also when our dear Viji is celebrating Shashti of the Purti of her dance career. When she was hardly 20, her grandfather, we all used to call him Papa Mama, a great patron-like personality in the cultural field in Kerala, and a very close friend of my father. He brought her to me and said, "Here is Viji, you have to train her." She had her training earlier, probably in Roorkela, I don't remember, but she has been so close to us that when she completed her training at our Nrutyodaya Chennai, allowed her to have the same name Nrutyodaya for her dance school, which she started in Mumbai, and for decades she has been doing wonderful work. I must congratulate her daughters, sons-in-law, son, and her disciples for secretively in the sense she did not know about this, but they have arranged a beautiful felicitation for her when her dance career is crossing 60 years. On behalf of my family and on behalf of my Nrutyodaya Chennai, which is celebrating 80th year this year, and on behalf of all the students, I convey my greetings to her and my hearty blessings to my dear Viji. She has been part of our family, more than just being a Guru Shishya, but that's how Guru Shishya relationship has to be. The holiest of holy relationship in humanity that the Hindu world knows is the Guru Shishya relationship. And from the bottommost part of my heart, I bless her. May she live 100 years healthy and continue her service to the art of dance to spread spiritualism and harmony in the minds of people. Namaskaram.
Jayashree has truly been a torchbearer in ensuring the legacy is passed on. By becoming the true role model for them, her children, Vaishnavi, Aishwarya and Aditya, their spouses and her grandchildren cherish and nurture the value of art and culture, thus in turn taking forward the tradition. Jayashree was not only blessed with a supportive family and a loving guru, ardent shishyas and supportive colleagues, but was also blessed with the spiritual grace of Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba. We constantly pray for the well-being and happiness of our beloved Dr. Srimati Jayashree Rajagopalan.